Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, so today I am going to be showing you how to sublimate onto these teardrop, I call them teardrop sort of oval sublimation earring blanks. And so I ordered these online, and so it has a little plastic coating on each side. And so you do have to make sure that you peel that plastic coating off. Otherwise, your sublimation will not work properly. So I just take my nail and kind of peel it back. And I'm just going to show you here before I get started. But you can kind of see here where there is some plastic. Move this out of the way. You guys can kind of see that plastic on there. So it has plastic on both sides because this is a double-sided sublimation blank or earring blank. And so you want to make sure that you take the plastic off of both sides. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sub on both sides. You can just do one side if you choose, but I like to do both. So I'm going to be sublimating on both sides, and I have some images that I uploaded from pixabay.com. And I'm going to determine which one I want to use. So I'm going to jump over to my screen so you can actually see me design it out in Cricut Design Space. And then once I get it designed out in Cricut Design Space, then I will come back and I'll walk through the process of sublimating these. Now, in order to sublimate, you do need a heat press or easy press. In order to be able to, or iron. I don't really know if irons work. Some people say they've tried it. I haven't, so I can't testify to it. But some people have said they've used irons for little small things like this. But normally you would need a heat press or easy press, something like that, to do your sublimation. I'm going to be using A-Sub paper, and I ordered that off of Amazon. So everything that I'm going to be using for this project, I'm going to be listing in the description so that you'll have a list of where I purchased it from. So it'll be easy for you, in addition to where I got these blanks from, because I don't remember right offhand. So I will be posting that in the description. And what else? So A-Sub paper, I'm using the Epson Workforce 7720 sublimation printer that I changed over from inkjet to sublimation. So that's the printer I'm going to be printing out on. And when you're doing sublimation, you want to make sure you mirror. Now, this is not going to be a big deal because I'm just using an image, and it doesn't matter which side it displays on. But if you were using like words or something like that, you want to make sure you do put it in the reverse. And I'll talk about that a little bit more here once I jump into Cricut Design Space. Now, I haven't used Cricut Design Space really since they've been doing the updates to it. So, I'm just asking you guys to be patient just in case I get some error messages. I do have an alternative plan to use Microsoft PowerPoint if Cricut is acting crazy, because I don't got time for that. Okay, just letting you know. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to jump over to where you can actually see me design out in Cricut Design Space so that you'll know. I always say, guys, you can take a picture of this and then upload it into Cricut Design Space, or take it to removebg.com to remove the background from the image, and then you can use the actual shape from your picture if you choose to do so, to make sure that you have the proper shape. And that's what I did. So you're going to see in Cricut Design Space that I already have this actual size, and not size but shape, already uploaded to Cricut Design Space. And then I took an image from the image gallery and made sure that I had the right size, because you can kind of see it's not just pointy here and then round on the bottom, it's pointy on both sides. So I want to make sure I get that type of look when I'm getting ready to do my image. You always want to make sure that your image is a little bit bigger, not much, but just a little bit bigger than your blank, because you do need to leave room to tape it down so that when you put your heat press or easy press down, that it does not move. Because if it moves, then you may end up with like a ghosting or kind of like a shadow effect, and you don't want that. Okay. So without further ado, I'm going to take you over to Cricut Design Space and we will continue on. All right, guys. So what you have, I'm inside Cricut Design Space, and I already have my image and my shape on the canvas. And so basically what I did is I went to image and I searched for a teardrop because I wanted to make sure that I got a shape that was pointy on the top and pointy on the bottom. So it's not pointy and then round on the bottom. So it's kind of like this shape, but that's not the one I took. I actually took, hopefully I didn't miss it. No, I didn't go down far enough. All right, so I actually took, all right, now my eyes are playing tricks on me. There, I took this image and then I clicked on Insert Images. I then eliminated the background color so that I would only have the brown color. And notice how it's pointy on both ends and not pointy on one side and round on the bottom, because that's how my blanks are. And then I wanted to make sure that I had this shape about the size of a little bit bigger than my sublimation blank, because you do want to have a little bit of overlap. So I unlocked the sizing here because I'm not concerned about width proportion with just this shape. And then what I did is I just stretched this out to what shape I felt I needed, or the sizing I felt I needed based on measuring my sublimation blank. And then once I got that shape to what I needed, so I'm going to delete that because you see the shape here. I then went in and I uploaded, or let me bring that back. I uploaded my image, which I already have my image here in Cricut Design Space. I got this image off of pixabay.com. And so I just basically shrunk this down to where I could get the majority of the peacocks inside of my shape here. And once I got that done, I'm just going to stretch this, take this in just a little bit. Once I got that done, then I'm now going to take and highlight them both and come down to the bottom right here and slice. Okay. So I just wanted to show you how I got to this point. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I don't need them. And now when you move over these pieces, these extras, you'll see your design. So now all I have to do is duplicate this and it will give me my front and back from my earring blank. Okay, so I'm going to hide this because it's not going to be a part of the project, and then I'm going to delete that because I don't need it. Okay, now if you are working with an image or text that needs to make sure it print out in the right direction, you want to make sure that you flip this. But because mine is the same on both sides, I'm not going to flip it, but it's just simply a matter of, and I'm going to give you an example. If I wanted to personalize this earring, and let's say I was going to put a white D on it, like that, then what I would do is I would make sure that I highlight them both, group it, and then come here and flip it horizontal. That way, when I lay this down on top of my earring blank, it's going to print out the D or have the D going in the right direction. But I'm not going to be personalizing these, but remember, people love personalized gifts. They love gifts that they can't just walk in the store and buy. So this is a great way that you can ensure nobody else has these earrings that started out from this shape or from the image of two peacocks. So you can see your peacocks here. Now you may lose a little bit of this because remember we do have this bigger, but if you want to make sure that you do the sizing equivalent to your sublimation blank, just remember that if you have that tape overlapping onto your sub area, it is going to imprint tape marks and you don't want that. That's why it's always best to have your image a little bit larger than your sublimation blank. And I'll show you that here in just a moment. But at this point, I am going to undo what I just did because I'm not going to be putting an initial. And at this point, I am ready to make it. This is where you would mirror if you were working with images that need to be in the reverse so that they print out properly, or text. Anytime you use text, you want to make sure you mirror, and that's just by clicking on mirror. But I will not be mirroring. And at this point, you can just click continue in the bottom right corner. And then you want to send this to your printer. Now I have the Epson Workforce 7720. I'm going to take off this bleed because we don't need it. I only need one copy. And then I'm going to use the system dialog, and I'll show you here why I'm going to do that. So I'm going to click on print. And on preferences, I want to make sure that I select cassette 2. And if you have printed on your sublimation paper and you ended up with lines in your image on that paper, then change your paper type. So I noticed that when I use high quality plain paper as my paper type, I normally get the lines. When I use just plain paper, I don't get the lines. So if you're having issues with lines printing on your image, then change your paper type. And you may have to kind of play around with it, but it actually works better for me with plain paper. And then you would just click OK and go ahead and print this. Now, since I already have it printed out, I'm not going to print it again, but I just wanted to walk through those steps with you. And now I'm going to bring my screen back up so you can see the remainder. All right, guys, so I have printed out my images. They look very dull because anytime you're working with sublimation, it's not going to print vibrant until you apply that heat using your heat press or your easy press or whatever you're going to be using as your heat method. And I've already did the first side of my earrings. So I'm going to show you here how vibrant and pretty they are. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Okay. And so you can see the difference. This is before you apply the heat, and this is after you apply the heat. So let me do it this way so you can see it better. You see the difference? Okay. So you want to make sure that you are following the process. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to line this up. Remember, you want this part to be bigger than your blank because you do want that overage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up right below that little white mark that's on here so that I can make sure both my front and my back are the same. And then I'm just going to put a little piece of tape to kind of hit that top part and hit the top part here and then stick onto the paper so that when I lay my heat press down, it doesn't shift. If it shifts, you're going to end up with a shadow or what we call ghosting, and you don't want that. So I'm going to be using my heat tape to tape this down. I'm going to get it right where I need it on both sides. And then I'm going to grab my heat tape and I'm going to tape it down. And then I'm going to take it to the heat press. I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to come back and show you the finished product. So I'm not going to be going to the heat press with you, but I'm going to heat press this for 60 seconds at 380 for 60 seconds. And I'm going to pause this for just 1 second because I want to double check where I got the blanks from, because a lot of times when you order these blanks offline, it will tell you your settings, but I think, well, I'm going to go ahead and stick with 380 for 60 seconds, but I'm going to see what it said on the website. So hold on 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, I ordered these blanks from Dynamic Print Supply off Etsy. The recommended temperature was 400 for 60 seconds. I did 380 for 60 seconds, and they turned out perfect. Turned out perfectly. So hopefully you guys can see the vibrancy of those colors. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with the 380 for 60 seconds since that's what I did for the first go round. I'm going to get these taped on, and then I am going to heat press them. Again, I'm not going to be doing the heat press with you, but I will come back and show you this side after I did the heat press. So I'm using heat tape that I got off of Amazon. Again, I will link everything in the description as far as what I'm using. So far, I like these blanks from Dynamic Print Supply. I think the last time I ordered some, I ordered them off Amazon, and that order was really good as well. So I haven't had any issues with any of the sublimation products that I've used or sublimation blanks that I've used, because sometimes people have issues with some sublimation blanks, and I guess I've just been lucky. So I'm just going to tape this down so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm just taping down, and I don't want the tape to be too much on my image, because if it is, that tape will then leave an imprint in your, it'll leave an imprint in your on your sublimation blank, a tape imprint, and you can't get it out. So you want to make sure that you are leaving enough where you can tape this, but where you're not compromising your image. So I'm going to have to do it like this. I'm just making sure that I do not have any tape hanging over. Let's see if I can get it right here on this tip. So I kind of got it right there on the tip. So when I go to heat press it, it's going to be laying flat like that with the blank on the bottom and the image on the top. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and I will be right back with the finished product, and then I'll put the metal piece on with you so you can see the earrings once they're complete. All right, guys, I'm back. I have subbed on the back side. So now I have two completed. Hold it up on the other side. Two completed sides here. Oops. Where's my top? Okay. So now I have both sides done. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to take these, again, came from Dynamic. Let me get the right name because I don't want to say something that is not right. So these came from Dynamic, and it's spelled DYENAMIC Print Supply, all one word here. And so what I'll do is I will link them in the description, but they recommend that you sub them at 400 for, just that fast, I forgot. Hold on. they recommend that you sub them at 400 degrees for 60 seconds. I did 380 for 60 seconds. It's going to come with the hardware already put together, as you can see here. And so all I have to do is just open this little metal piece on the bottom and clip it in between my, or put my little, inside my little hole. Now, this is probably not going to work for me because this is these scissors are too big, but normally I just take a pair of scissors. I do have the proper tools. I just don't feel like getting them. And I just use my scissors and stick the scissors in and open it up. And then I just take and clamp it on. Hold on 1 second. So I'm just gonna clamp it right there where my hole is and close it. And that's one earring. And I think it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing to the second one. And again, I'm just taking my scissors and stretching open the little metal piece on the bottom so that I can get it to where I can slide my hole from the earring right down in there. Okay, there we go. So now we have a pair of completed earrings, front and back. Okay, so I will link all of the information for what I used in the description. So I'll give you a quick rundown. I use a sub, so you guys can see it. I used a sub sublimation paper that I got from Amazon. And I also used, of course, your sublimation blanks from Dynamic Print Supply. These are from Etsy, off of their Etsy site. I'll link that as well. I use my Epson Workforce 7720. And what else? The image came from Pixabay, so I will link where I got this image from of the peacocks. Again, it's free for commercial use, but always check the verbiage for those images to make sure that you can use them commercially. I'm probably going to give these to someone because I cannot wear pierced earrings. Okay. So I think they turned out perfect. Always make sure you use your heat tape. You can get heat tape off Amazon. I've never tried to get it from the craft stores, so I'm not sure if they sell it in the craft stores. Probably so, because now they have heat presses at Michael and stuff like that, so they probably have some heat tape. I don't know. And these were very reasonable. The earrings and the hardware. These were $1.50. These were $1.50. So, you know, not bad. Quality was really good. It's, again, my first time using Dynamic Print Supply. But for $1.50 per pair, not bad at all. And it comes with the hardware, so you can't beat that. And it's double-sided, so make sure you peel the tape off both sides. Even if you weren't going to sub on the other side, I would say pull the tape off both sides. And what else? I think that's it, guys. Sublimation paper, where I got my image from. I'm using the Epson Workforce 7720. I heat pressed for 380 for 60 seconds, not 400 for 60 seconds. But, you know, all heat presses aren't the same. So, you know, if you ever heat press something and it doesn't come out very vibrant, before you remove it completely off and mess up the alignment, just put it back down and allow it to press a little bit longer to get that good vibrant color like you can see here. I think it's a little difficult for you guys to see because it is on this cup that also has a bunch of different colors. So let me see if I can get it. It may not stay on there. Let me get something else. I'm making a mess, but that's what I do. So let's see if you can see it better now without all of the colors from that cup. There we go. So now you guys can see it hopefully better. But the colors are very vibrant. Oh, the ink. The ink that I'm using is from Hippo. And the ink is very cost efficient. Not only is it cost efficient, it's a great ink for the price. So this is the ink that I'm actually using right now. I also use Ink X Pro, and so far I haven't found a big difference between one over the other. Ink X Pro is a little bit more expensive, but I will still continue to use it. Hippo, I think this kit was like $25, something like that. Ink X Pro was like 70 something. I will say that this does not come with your syringes that you will need, but Ink X Pro does. Okay, so this is just going to come with your ink. It's only going to come with your inks. It doesn't come with your syringes and your needles. So I had to actually use the syringes and the needles from my Ink X Pro. So I just cleaned these out really, really good and use the Ink X Pro ones for these. So that may be why these were a little bit more cost efficient, is because they do not come, this kit does not come with your syringes and your needles. Okay, so I do want to put that out there. It's only going to come with the ink. And you guys can see I've been using this for a minute and I haven't had to do a fill yet. I don't print, I don't do sublimation every day. I used to think that I had to sub every day so the ink wouldn't dry out. I don't know when the last time I did something sublimation. And the very first time I printed, you can see the end result is what I did here today. There's no lines or anything like that. I want you guys to be able to see it really, really clear. There's no lines or anything in this image. So it printed out perfectly. So Hippo colors print very vibrant on the A-sub paper. And I would definitely buy Hippo again. I would use it again because I have the syringes and the needles already. But if you already have the syringes and the needles and you want to try Hippo, then go for it because it's very cost efficient. But again, if you don't have the syringes, I don't know how much they are by themselves. It may still be a little bit cheaper than Ink X Pro, but I like to be able to get everything all in one whop. I don't have to worry about it. But now that I have the syringes and the needles, I don't need to order more unless something happens. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's my sublimation earrings, double-sided. Always make sure that when you order your sublimation blanks for your earrings, that it tells you if it's double-sided or just one-sided, because that's very important. Sometimes your customer or whoever you're making the earrings for, they may want double-sided, so you want to make sure that you are getting a double-sided blank or a blank that is only one-sided. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I think I've done a lot of talking today. I have so many conference calls and now I'm doing these tutorials. But I wanted to get a couple of tutorials out here this week because I'm going on vacation and I'm excited about that. So I will be putting out a couple of not sublimation, a couple of tutorials by Thursday night. From now till Thursday night, they'll be coming at you like that because I won't be doing any tutorials until possibly next Wednesday or Thursday. So I'm trying to get some out there to give you guys something to work with. So if you have anything that you would like to see me do, sublimation, non-sublimation, guys, put it in the comments to let me know so I can know how I can better help you guys when it comes to the crafting. Because sometimes I'm just kind of guessing at what you might want to see. So, you know, what better way than to ask you directly? So I'll put a poll out there. I know you guys want to see Cricut Design Space stuff. I haven't played around with Cricut Design Space too much lately because I know they were going through upgrades and in the craft groups, all I was seeing was people complaining. And so I didn't want to deal with it. I was using Microsoft PowerPoint, and that's where I stayed, in Microsoft PowerPoint. So today was my first time going back into Cricut Design Space trying to do something so that I would be designing in Cricut Design Space and not Microsoft PowerPoint, because that is my preference, is to design directly in Microsoft PowerPoint. But yeah, I just want to put that out there. So if you're currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you guys so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. If this is the first time that you're seeing my tutorials and you like my method of teaching, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share, 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 share. Please tell people about my YouTube channel. And also, congratulations to Jamie Moore. She won the $25 Amazon gift card for my giveaway on my YouTube channel. The contest actually ended on Monday, so you can go to the website all you want, but you won't be able to register any longer because the gift giveaway is over. But stay tuned because I will have more coming out there, okay? For those, there were some people that either liked, subscribed, or commented, but didn't do all three. And then there were some people that viewed the website, but didn't put their email address and their name in, which was all requirements for the giveaway. And if you're currently one of my group members in my Facebook group, Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, thank you guys so much for being a part of my group. If you would like to join us, then you can send me a Facebook group request to Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. And I know it's a mouthful. Yes, I know. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If I missed anything that you need me to explain or help with, then just put a comment. I respond to everyone unless it's porn related, and that's a no. But other than that, I will respond to your comments as quickly as I can. And again, thank you for subscribing to my channel and being a part of my Facebook group. I appreciate you all, even if you're not subscribed to my channel and you just happen to see me by accident. And even if you don't join my Facebook group, but my group members are awesome. And I really, really love my group. All right, guys, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You know, my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day. Bye.